Hello friends, today I am sharing with you a look at teaching textbooks, online math curriculum for homeschoolers. If you're new here, my name is Lisa and I am a single homeschool mama of 5, and on this channel I share with you homeschool content and sometimes book reviews and some product reviews as well. So if you are interested in that, make sure you subscribe and give this video a like if you enjoyed this or it was helpful for you. I am going to just give you a look at what teaching textbooks looks like online. The reason we switched from Rod and Staff to teaching textbooks is because at some point I knew I was going to do an online math curriculum. I've heard from a couple other homeschoolers. It's been around for a long time, and I know people who have used it while they were homeschooled, did well, and went to college and just did fine. So it is not a super intense math curriculum. If you're looking for something like that, then it's probably not the right one for you. It's pretty basic, and it goes all the way up to, it's got geometry and algebra. So it goes up there pretty high. The last level, I'll have to look what the last level is. Rod and Staff is a really great math curriculum, and I loved it. It's very mastery based. So if you're looking for something more hands-on, that is a great one. But I have 5 kids, so I knew that at some point we were going to do something more online, and I'm just not super good at the upper grades of math, more when we get to the algebra and stuff like that. So that is why I chose it, and it's worked out great. If you have kids with, ADHD, dyslexia, things like that, it's a great math curriculum for them, because it does read them the problems, and it also keeps boys' attention. So far it has worked really well, and I'm just gonna flip the camera around and kind of give you a look at what that looks like. Okay, let me show you how we get started on teaching textbooks. So this is the first level in teaching textbooks. It is Math 3. So I would just get onto here. You'll have to download it. It's free to download it, obviously, but the actual using it part you need to pay for. So it's loading up right now. That's what it looks like. Then you have, for the login, you have the parent, and then you have the student below. All right, so I'm right here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the password on so that I can show you. So, put my password on, and then I'll show you what the parent page looks like. So the parent home page has your grade book right here, okay? And the grade book, you can go through here and check to see what grade they got on, what lesson, and also the date that it was done. You can go through and view the exact problems right here. If you needed to change a specific problem, every once in a while I find one problem that one of the kids said, but I did it right, and they have me check it. And every once in a while there is one wrong. I will let you know that. I mean, it's not perfect. I don't think anything is ever perfect, but in our other curriculum, we found some grammar errors or things and like that in our books, some of our workbooks. So yeah, you just know that you can go and fix a problem, or if they accidentally put something, or you feel like they need to be able to redo that problem, you can. Also, if you feel like their grade was not good enough, which is what I do a lot of times, if I feel like the percentage, maybe they didn't try, they were trying to rush through and be done with math for the day or something, I go over here and you can mark it. It says, this will delete all of his work. For lesson 3, you can give him a second try, but this cannot be undone. Okay, so we're not going to delete the message or delete it. So I would just put cancel, but you can delete the lesson right here. So if you want him to redo that lesson, that's what you can do specifically. So there's how you do that. Then they have their overall percentage up here and how much time they have left to do the course, which right now is 6 months and 8 days because he's been going through it pretty quick. Yeah, so you can kind of see where he is on this level. I think we're down here. All right, so he's doing really, really good. That is where we are. So he started this level like middle of the year or something like that. If you go over here, this has changed student settings, so you can go in there and change things if you want. It kind of tells you, explains to you each part of the settings, which is helpful. Lessons per day, unlimited. I have it unlimited. You could probably just make it so that you don't have to. So lesson settings and wallpapers and stickers, you can figure out stuff boys may love. Okay, so that's kind of how it's customized for him specifically. You can go right here to view answer key and e-booklet, manage the course right there. This is going to help you if you're doing manage the course. You can get on here and pause your pause their math so they won't take up some of their time if you're going on vacation or something like that. Taking a little break from math, you can do that. You can change your parent or student password from there. Okay, so I'm going to log out from there, and then I'll show you kind of what it looks like as far as the students, what a lesson would look like. So I'm going to go ahead and log into his. I just give them a password of something that they love so that it's easy for them to remember and me. So that just makes it a little bit easier for us. But if you go through a lesson and they're having trouble, you'll see here in a second, I'll show you. So say I'm going to start this lesson right here. You would just click on it. It tells you what lesson you're on. It's going to go through and do the lesson lecture. So this is subtracting dollars and cents. It's going to explain it all to you. It's going to go through and do this whole thing for him, and this is going to explain it. And while they're going through it, sometimes there's little things they ask you, and then you put in the number or whatever as they're going through the lesson. See, so we have what is you take 3, subtract 3 from 6 there, so you'd put it in, right? Okay, there it goes. And then that's how that would keep going. Now, as you're going through the lesson after that, after you've watched the lecture, and they can go back and watch the lecture more than once, which if they don't understand what they just learned, I sometimes have them do that. Then you go to a practice problem, and practice problems aren't technically counted. My oldest just figured that out. So sometimes he skips the practice problems, but I've told him that does not help you with it. So they have a total of like 22 they have a total of 22 problems, and then you can see that's how many practice problems they have right there. But if you go back to the problem, it's going to give you a choice sometimes you're typing things in, but that is how that works. It will read you the problem, then you can have it replay the problem as well if they need to listen to them read it again. It doesn't always read the answers like down here, but that's okay. And so they get to pick their wallpaper back here and their friends, and they get new ones however far they get into their lessons. They get new little friends and new wallpaper they can choose for their background, which my kids love looking at that. So anyways, so up here at the top, it says first taught in lesson 74. So if they can't remember how to do this specific problem, what I have them do is you go back to your ebook and you can click on what lesson in the ebook that you want to look at. And so we'd go back and look at lesson 74, and then he could read exactly how to do that thing that they learned in lesson 74. So I have them do that first, or re-listen to the lecture if they need to, depending on where they learned this lesson and how to do this problem. And that really helps them. So that is just kind of how teaching textbooks looks like. You get a email the next day after they've done their lessons the day before, and it will just tell you that they did their lesson and what they got, what percentage they got on their lessons. So that's really helpful. Every morning I get my email and I look at it, and that's just a nice thing. They also have free tutoring, math tutoring, as well if your child needs it. So far we have not used it. I think a lot of times it's more of a motivation problem than an understanding problem, because if my kids won't go back and look in the ebook or at the lecture again, or they're just rushing through, they're not doing the practice problems, then I have a hard time thinking that it's more of something where we need a tutor and more of maybe you need to, focus and be more disciplined. Anyways, so that is how that works. And like I said, there's a lot, and it keeps my boys' attention. So anyways, you'd go here and you would just log out for the day as well. So that is how we would do it. And so each time they do a lesson, you can flip through and go to different lessons, but it's going to let you just stay at the lesson that you're supposed to be at, really. And you can actually mark that in their settings too. So if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them down below in the comments. And if you have anything that you want to see in future homeschool videos, let me know. And I would be happy to share that with you. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. Hopefully it was helpful to you. See you guys soon.